A cold, frosty and foggy start to the day, then turning wet and windy from the west. The outlook unsettled. I'll have all the details of that and more coming up. But Good Morning Britain.
Monday.
From the COP27 conference in Egypt. Welcome back, Laura.
Line from last year's agreements, and there was very little progress on anything.
What was there towards getting away from fossil fuels?
So last year, the big thing was to phase down on coal. And they wanted to phase out, and they said, let's just say phase down rather than phase out. This year, they said, let's say phase out all fossil fuels. And some of the nations in the Middle East said, we don't want to do that.
No.
Every country needs to agree to every word, so it didn't happen.
No.
Meanwhile, you have the weather here.
Cold, frosty, wet and windy, a little bit of everything. Here's the details. Weather-wise, literally a little bit of everything in our forecast as we head through the day today. But warnings in force, first of all, across the northeast for cold, frosty, icy conditions, then for heavy rain through Northern Ireland, and then for strong winds through Wales in the southwest, gusts of 70 to 80 miles an hour. And as we head through the day today, it is these wet and windy conditions that will prevail from the southwest. Now, here's how it looks at the moment. We have the wet weather through Wales and the southwest of England. That will make its way through Midlands, through the London area, into East Anglia by this afternoon. So the southwest brightens up, and that is when the winds come in, 70 to 80 mile an hour gusts. The far north and east, cold, frosty, icy with dense mist and fog. That will slowly lift and clear through the day. The best of the brightness from Scotland, 7 degrees here, so a cool one, wet and windy elsewhere, and temperatures really struggling, 7 to 12 degrees, adding in the wind, feeling bitterly cold. Good morning to you. Pretty much every kind of weather is in the forecast for today. We have cold, frosty conditions and we have fog. And actually a warning from the Met Office for that first thing this morning across the northeast of Scotland. Slow going on the roads and some icy conditions. Elsewhere, heavy rain, the name of the game, through northern areas of Northern Ireland. And also, so let's see how things pan out as we head through the next 7 days. And the big theme is for weather fronts to battle in from the Atlantic, wet and windy weather to move its way through. And temperature-wise, we're looking at around about average, if not below, as we head through the coming days. Looking at our percentage chance of rainfall, how likely we are to see wet weather across the north of the UK. Well, at the moment, the next few, largely fine and dry, but then the outlook is for wet and windy through the middle of the week, lasting into the weekend. Fortunes further south for England and Wales for the next 7 days. Again, the outlook is cool, not just by day, by night, with temperatures below where they should be. How likely are we to see wet weather as we head through the next 7 days? Well, at the moment, wet and windy conditions with heavy rain spreading through for most of this week. Friday at the moment looks like the driest day of the week. Good morning to you. Cold and frosty is the name of the game first thing this morning. Warnings across the northeast of Scotland. Then wet and windy weather moves in from the southwest with warnings here later on today. But this is the very wet scene greeting us through Northern Ireland, Wales and the southwest of England right now. In eastern areas, in contrast, clear, cold, frosty and... Good morning to you. Cold and frosty to start first thing this morning. Warnings from the Met Office for sub-zero temperatures and icy conditions, and then warnings in place for Northern Ireland for heavy rain and then for strong winds and gales through Wales and the southwest later, 70 to 80 mile an hour winds. So every type of weather in the forecast pretty much as we head through the day today. First the fog and frost, then... Good morning to you. Mixed weather this morning. First off, we start with mist and fog, cold weather for the north and east. Then it turns wet and then windy across the south and west. And a divided start first thing this morning. Clear, dry and sunny through these eastern areas with temperatures sub-zero, but mild, cloudy and wet in the south and west. And this whole band of rain marches across England as we head through the day. The far north of England and Scotland stays dry until this evening. Then skies brighten through Wales and the southwest with blustery showers later. Top temperatures, 12 degrees.